a shot to do what?
Live from our separate isolation studios across the country. We got a lot of football for you on a Tuesday, which you would normally expect, but today is different. We're going to make some history because the first time we're bringing in our guy, Doug Smith, from the Touchdown with Doug Smith to inject some much needed credibility, overall testicular fortitude that me and Bert desperately need to this show and around here in general. The Chiefs with a statement win, the Bills with a statement lost, and a tad bit of baseball talk as we're down to the final four teams in the MLB playoffs. So we'll predict who we think is going to win the World Series. So if you think you're ready, strap it on. Stuff about sports. Touchdown with Doug Smith. Next. Sports. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Stuff About Sports. I'm the Facebook felon Jerm. That is the pretty Corey Bert. We are presented by the Give Us a Shot Network, powered by Fast Break Coffee, and sponsored, as always, Bert, by the haters. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the first timers, last timers, long timers. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. If you can't do any one of those things, I am inclined to assume you're just a hater, and I hope you get gout. All right. With us today, blessing us, is, again, my man, Doug Smith from the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Doug, what's up, man?
What's up, brothers? How's it going, man? Good to be here today, man.
Pretty good. You are like all over the place, man. Your show, your whole vibe, your Instagram is like a club. Like you set it off. I want everybody follow my guy, the Touchdown with Doug Smith, on Instagram at the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Please follow him. He has great interviews. He doesn't just do sports. I've perused his YouTube. He does a lot of stuff, a lot of personal stuff. So it's pretty cool to see. It's very inspiring to people to be that open to talk about themselves. But enough of me yapping about you. I want you to yap about you. You tell us where we can find you and what you're all about, bro.
Man, maximum love, dude. Thank you guys so much. Been following you guys for years. So it's great to finally get on here with you guys. And man, I got to get you guys on my show as well, too, man. Yeah, a little bit about my show. I'd like to describe it like a really cool boutique store in your city. You go in there and there's all kinds of really cool things. I would like to say, hey, I definitely have, I won't say one of the best, but definitely a contributing factor in the NFL draft scene. If year to date, I think over 150 NFL draft prospects I've had the pleasure of interviewing, getting these young men's stories out there. You know what I mean? Mel Kiper can't interview them all, right? So I get the leftovers. That's
a flex. I like that.
I appreciate it, man. Shout out to Mel Kiper, by the way. But yeah, man, so doing that, also random college football stories, random NFL stories. So again, very boutique, a little all over the place at times. Sometimes share stuff about my faith, stuff going on in the world. Very, very crazy, upside down place we call Earth, you know. But yeah, man, it's I would say it's 98% football, man. So if you love football, come check me out. It's called The Touchdown with Doug Smith. Going on about 5.5 years of doing the show. So I started the show back in 2020, and years and years people have been telling me, Doug, you got a voice for radio. Doug, you got a voice for radio. And I played college football at a D2 school in northern New Mexico, a place called New Mexico Highlands University, actually. There's my banner right there. Played for one season, but I didn't like how my career had ended. So this is my way of still being a part of the game. You know what I mean? And I love football. I think it's one of the best things in the world, man. So being out there and playing a sport and being a part of the sport, of course, my body can't hold up no more, right? Nobody can play it forever, but to be a part of it is an absolute blessing.
Awesome, man. That's super dope, man. So yeah, please, once again, I'm gonna throw this back up here. Please follow him at the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Even though he's a Miami Dolphins fan and I am a Bills fan, he is so dope that's how you know he's dope. I had him on the show, even with him being an eternal enemy, but it's all good. We're up. Well,
all good.
geez,
Josh
we're up.
Allen is our daddy. I will say he
Yeah.
is our daddy.
Yeah. Josh Allen needs a bye week. He needs a break. He needs to go, I don't know, nestle with Haley and just get his mind right, because the last couple of weeks haven't been great. But we'll get all that. We'll get into all that later. Before we get started, Bert, we have Bucket of Doom business. Bert, you're 3-3. Corey is 2-4. He took an L with the Cowboys. Dwayne Marcus with the Pats is now sitting at 3-3. I had the automatic bye because I had the Texans, so I am 5-1. Carl had the Jets, took a loss, 3-3. Mike had the Niners, took his first loss of the season, and so he is 5-1. And Ty had the Chiefs, who had a great win, and we'll get to that a little bit later, and is now 3-3. So, Bucket of Doom. Let's go ahead and pick these helmets. Doug, since you are now a guest, I would like to invite you to be part of our playoff edition Bucket of Doom, where instead of a punishment, you'll actually win a prize if you win. It's a suicide pool for the playoffs. So once that starts, I'll have your name down. All right.
Let's get it. I love it.
Bert, you have the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Corey. What's up, Corey? Piece of shit. His Miami Dolphins. Not that he's happy about it, but
no.
Yeah, I mean that's his team, so I don't know.
I'm focused on the draft, man. Next year.
Dwayne Marcus, who sacrificed all his throwbacks, has the Niners. Not terrible. Not a terrible draw.
Okay.
Me, the New England Patriots. Oh my gosh. I like Drake May, so
I was gonna say,
hey, listen, it is what it is. Carl, Las Vegas Raiders, terrible. Carl's gonna throw that back for sure.
Coming off of a win though.
Oh, they came off a win.
They beat the Titans last week.
Oh, that's right, they did. That's right. Yeah. Got the coach fired.
They have the Chiefs this weekend though, so
so he might throw that back.
But
Mike,
Pats have Titans, Jerm, so you'll be good.
Oh, pro? Yeah, I'm good. Mike with the New Orleans Saints.
Ooh.
Ty. Washington racial slurs. He's a big Jaden Daniels fan. He might keep it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, Commanders Cowboys this weekend. So.
All right. We'll wait to see. If the Pats. You said the Pats had the who?
Titans.
Oh yeah, I'm keeping that. All right, cool. So I'm happy with that. So. All right, week 6 is in the books. Doug, you are our guest. I'll let you get started. Good, bad, and fugly. Who do you have this week for your good?
Man, for my good, man, I definitely I'll start with the Atlanta Falcons, man. Oh my gosh, that was that. Man, I mean, no disrespect, man. They are to see Michael Penix in the coming of age. Because here's the thing: the Buffalo Bills, though it's been some shaky stuff. Josh Allen looks a little banged up. Definitely needs some rest. I'm gonna start with Atlanta, man. Michael Penix, man, is showing us why he needs to be in the NFL, man. I think in a day and age where we put so much pressure on quarterback development, you got to come in right out the gate and be a star. He's now year 2 in the NFL, and for him to make them right throws and everything like that, I think he's only going to take and build off of this, man. So that's the good. The fugly is the this right here, man. It sucks in Miami, man. It sucks to be a Dolphins fan right now. I was in Lids the other night having a wonderful stroll with my wife and kids, and I was like, those Buccaneer hats look really nice.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
So, man, that Baker Mayfield, man, he is just he's a magician. It's weird because it's like every game they're within a touchdown of losing, and he does it every single game. It's like it gets him off. He can't just dominate, right? So it's gonna be interesting once you get in the playoffs, right? Because what really matters is once you get in the playoffs and who gets hot at the right time. But yeah, I was looking at them Buccaneers hats. I'm like, yeah, that looked pretty nice. But the fugly is the Dolphins. You know, you have my Tua Tagovailoa. Here's the thing: it takes and throws his team underneath the bus, not saying anything about his 3 interceptions. I understand Mike McDaniel is kind of you know, I like to pick on people, but he kind of comes across as a beta male, you know what I mean, like a pushover. And I actually don't mind his style of coaching if they're winning, because now everybody's looking at him, oh, this is Coach Goofball, you know what I mean? This is Mike McGenius. They have all kinds of names, right? And when I look at the Miami Dolphins, you have a team that overspends in free agency. You have a team that has a quarterback that you can't help but to keep him out there because you're paying him $50+ million a year, right? And then you have a guy named Chris Greer who cannot develop talent. He's had his job for over 20 years. He's been a part of this organization, right? In 10 years, he's been the GM, and they have kept him in power. I almost think he's holding something over Stephen Ross's head. There's no reason this guy should have a job, right? Bring somebody else in, kick the tires on someone else, right? So my whole point being, bad GM, bad coach, QB is a mess, and yeah, that's pretty fugly to me. So,
Bert, what you got for good?
My good. I mean, I really could have said this on Friday, to be completely honest with you, because I don't care. No, don't anyone go there, because I would care if they didn't lose another game all season. But the New York Football Giants, and being a Giant fan, there was nothing sweeter than watching the absolute smackdown on Thursday Night Football to kick off the week. And for any Giant fan, you know that guttural feeling going into a primetime game. You know that you have the smallest glimmer of hope that 2 minutes in is just going to be completely ruined by something stupid you see on the screen. But not this week. This week we saw not like a breakout performance, not anything to be like, oh, he's the best quarterback there is by Jackson Dart, but a collective team win, offense, defense. That psychopath troll, Cam Scatteraboo. I don't know what is in the water, but there's something about this young team that's just so infectious. And the fact that they beat the brakes off the frauds of the Philadelphia Eagles. And to cap it off, we got to see a Cowboys loss to the Panthers, and we got to see a Commanders loss to the Bears too. So Giant fans can absolutely kick their feet up and just enjoy being a football fan in week 6. Now on to week 7, and we'll see what we can do. But I mean, for the good, I had to go with it. And look, I could have went the Baker Mayfield route, but we're going to talk to him. I could have went the Colts again with Daniel Jones. I mean, I could have honestly went the Atlanta Falcons route too, but we'll be talking about the other side on that one when I go into my bad.
Yeah. Can't wait for that one. Jesus. Yeah, that for me, I figured I would save the Giants for you because that's your team. So you deserve a victory lap when it comes to the New York Giants. Jackson Dart and Scatteraboo are like the Hardy brothers from WWF. They're just cool, man. Like something about them. They just have that energy. And it's like watching Jackson Dart and him play. His mom was telling a story that I guess his older brother used to coach him, and he would just put on his pads and run into telephone poles. And I said, this guy grew up eating crayons. No wonder why he's just a psychopath. So shout out to Scatteraboo, man. That's good. I mean, it's about time, Bert. Like it's about time. Even if the Giants aren't going to be very good, not saying that they won't be. I'm just saying if that was it and they lose the rest of the, at least they'll be fun. Like at least they'll be fun to watch.
But like more fun than like whatever Tommy Cutlets, like Tommy DeVito was doing. Like I don't know, like fan favorite because he came in and won some meaningless games and ended up costing us a draft pick. But like that, the only reason why it was fun is because it was a change. Like we're watching a team enjoy playing football. At least this week it was. I don't even want to talk about the New Orleans game the week before because that was frustrating as all hell. But like when you see what we saw on Thursday night, it just makes watching it fun. And again, at least we're going to enjoy it. We're gonna see a young Jackson Dart either come into his own, or the Giants are gonna ruin him like every other quarterback since Eli Manning. So we'll see.
So my good, I was torn. So I'm gonna quickly just give flowers to a little OLI outside looking in to Rico Dowdle and the Carolina Panthers for not only his revenge game versus the Cowboys, the cherry on top being that he beat the Cowboys, because we all love when the Cowboys lose, but the fact that Carolina is now seemingly turned a corner from, we need to fire this brand new coach and they're terrible and Bryce Young's a bust, to holy shit, like they actually have something going here. So I just wanted to give them a quick shout out to here. But in reality, man, I don't think they're being talked about enough, and I don't think he's being talked about enough. But the single most confounding narrative twist of the 2025 NFL season, Bert, belongs to Seattle Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold, who has been a punchline for years. And currently, not that we're big statistic guys, but currently, right now, statistically speaking, the most efficient quarterback in the NFL. The guy who was seeing ghosts in New York, the guy who couldn't hack it in Carolina or San Francisco, and went to the Vikings and didn't even they moved on to JJ McCarthy. They didn't even believe in him that much, even though he fucking restored their franchise. They were like, nah, we're good, man. We got JJ McCarthy. Like, hit the bricks, kid. And Seattle has him now. And what is he doing? Leading not only being the most efficient quarterback in the NFL, but leading one of the most efficient offenses. Everything seems to be going well. So my good is going to Seattle, who sneaky NFC title contender, given their record, given everything else. Strength of schedule. They have impressive wins. They have some gimme wins in there too, but I don't think people are giving Seattle kind of the respect they deserve in terms of talking about, hey, here are the NFC guys that especially with Philly, with everything going on over there. And we'll get to them in a second, but I just wanted to give some love to Seattle.
Gingers can have fun too.
Yeah. Hey, that Seattle. I once said that when we used to do our polls, that Sam Darnold looks like the kid that will put his mouth on the water fountain at school. Like, that's him. Like, he's that guy. He's like, he wears board shorts and flip flops with flannel shirts and puts his mouth on the on the water fountain. Doug, did you have a bad? I know you gave us your fugly and your good. Do you have a bad?
Oh yeah. My bad. Man, I'm gonna have to take and say, I'm definitely gonna have to take and say the Jets, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to say Jets. And what's crazy about the Jets, man, is just the clock mismanagement.
Yeah,
that clock mismanagement that took and happened where it was like 8 seconds left on the 50-yard line. So technically, you can get another 15-yard catching, maybe 20, or probably 15 yards, right? Get them go out of bounds, kick a field goal, and just so happens they lost by 2 points.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad. So yeah, I have the Jets for sure.
Bert.
I mean, Jerm, and I'm sorry to bring this up again, but I don't think I've been more disappointed in what I can call a competitive football team in a while. I also am getting really upset because no matter what way I decide to bet, someone seems to fuck it up for me. And this week just happened to be your Buffalo Bills. So I think what's more frustrating for me is to start out a season so hot and keep up with what looked to be two incredibly competitive AFC teams between the Ravens and the Bills, and then to watch the Bills not completely beat up on the likes of the Jets, the Dolphins, the Saints, because the Saints hung in it until towards the end of the game, but then to lose to the Pats and now the Falcons, which on schedule should be winnable games for this high-powered offense that is your Buffalo Bills. But I'm not going to direct it at the offense, and I'm not even going to blame Josh Allen because you can't, even with the 2 picks, but that's what you have to do when you're that far behind because your defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. It is so incredibly frustrating, and you add that combined with whatever play calling that is in dumb Sean McDermott's head. It's almost like we're now starting to see the firings have commenced, and it's almost like, well, fuck, if they go in and then dog it against Carolina, and then who do you have next? The Chiefs, who hot or cold, depending on the week, but you're dropping 2 more in a row. At what point does the front office or even ownership look and say, we have what we feel we need to be competitive? And with the AFC the way it is, particularly with the Ravens and the Chiefs, well, the Chiefs hot or cold, the Ravens beat up, and you also don't know what you're going to get. And these are 2 competitive teams who we thought, we're certainly going to give the Bills grief. But down the line, like, at what point do you say, all right, you know what? This head coach isn't doing it for us. Now, look, I don't want to sit here and call for his head after 2 games. But there's a greater trend here year over year where we have to look at and say, is he the person to get it done, or are we just wasting Josh Allen's time? And even if you look and say this is strictly a defensive problem, I get it. But to not, and nothing against Atlanta, but there's no reason why they they should have gotten 170 on the ground. Like there's not. Like that to me is insane. It's absolutely insane. And taking nothing away from Bijan and the talent he has, to me, it's just incredible. It really is. So they get my bad this week. Like it was tough to watch.
Not gonna argue with you. The Bills embarrassed me in front of my friends. Embarrassed the whole fan base in one night.
Good weekend out with my friends, and I come home to watch that. Like
we were set up perfectly for something we've never had before. The number 1 seed and a bye.
Yeah.
And we folded. And yes, it's the defense. However, you want to talk about trades, you want to talk about a bunch of other shit. One player that we trade for isn't going to make the difference. The defense is going to suck the rest of the year. We need to trade for Chris Olave, AJ Brown, somebody, because Josh Allen needs help. He can't do everything, and he has been doing everything. That is a failure on the front office, and you use the correct terminology. Failing, wasting Josh Allen, one of the 3 best quarterbacks of this generation, not currently, of this generation.
Generational.
And he is a generational talent, and you're fucking wasting him. Save a stroke, Sean McDermott. Fucking punting it on 4th and 3 when you have Josh Allen, when you're down by 10 with 8 minutes left to go, you fucking pussy. Like, what are you doing? And you got to get a force multiplier. You thought that the everybody eats after the Diggs thing, all that, the good vibes, that's great. That doesn't win Super Bowls. Like, Sean McDermott needs to stop this nonsense. Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott together need to figure out, okay, we need to start off with square one. Get Trey White's bum ass off the field. Get these guys off the field. They suck. And you're out here penny pinching. You're out here doing all this shit, and you're not doing what's in the best interest of the team and swinging for the fence when you have a guy, because the window is now closing because Drake May and the New England Patriots are ahead of schedule. You can't just eat off the AFC East anymore. And again, it sounds nuts because we're talking about a 4-2 team here, but watch the way they play. Their combined record of their opponents is 3-21. Like I'm a fan, and I'm gonna use this word seriously. It looks fraudulent. It does. Like that 4-2 is starting to look a little fraudulent right now. And I hate to say it, but I feel so bad for Josh Allen. And Josh Allen, if somehow through the grace of God this reaches your ears, only you have the power in that building to do what needs to be done. You need to just go up to the ownership, to skip the coach, skip the GM, and go straight to Terry Pagula and say, get these guys the fuck out of here, or I am leaving. I refuse to play until you fix this team, because this is bullshit. Sorry. I'm sorry.
He might need to go the Cam Ward route.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, like Cam Ward, he's an ass, but I love it because it's like, hey, how many times have we seen people, man, they get that Rolls Royce, you get that Insta babe, whatever. Mm-hmm. And guess what? All of a sudden, it's hard to keep that hard work ethic when you were in the trailer park or in the projects or wherever you was living, right? It's hard to keep that same grind and that same hunger for greatness. It's so hard. Mm-hmm. But when you see guys like Cam Ward, my goodness, man, I've seen cats like you in 92, man. I've seen guys like you in 2001. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. You know what I mean? Hold people accountable, hold them to the fire, and watch change take and happen. Hence, his coach got fired. But Josh Allen, he's a nice guy, absolute maniac on the field, right? But there got to be some tough conversations behind the scenes, man.
Even himself, just the press con. I watched the press conference today. Josh Allen blamed himself for that loss. Nobody in their right mind watched that game and said, yo, Josh Allen is the problem there. The one pick wasn't his fault. He's trying to make things happen. He's trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. He's going to have turnovers when nobody is doing, like, it sucks. Like, but that's who he is. He's going to blame himself. Yeah. No, Josh, you are the last person we should be blaming, but it just sucks. Bert, we're brothers, so I already knew you were going to pick the Bills, so I'm not going to pick the Bills, even though I just piggybacked. I'm going to continue my crusade because we have a monopoly on the truth here, and I'm going to be, if anything, I'm but fair. The bad is going to the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, how could it not?
Why stop now, Jerm?
Why stop now? Why stop?
If anything, this loss just adds to your arsenal. Like it does. You've been calling Jalen Hurts and the Eagles frauds since week 1.
You did. Hey, you call it adding to my arsenal. I call it validating my stance. I've said it from day. Don't get attached to these shiny things, y'all. The vibes are high. Super Bowl champs. That shit. Whatever happened last year don't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. Look at them. They're like 30th in points per game. They're like one of almost last in yards. These wins are flukes, man. These are outliers, and you guys are just saying winning, winning, winning. And I'm like, no, like it's yes, you're winning, but that's not sustainable. And lo and behold, Bert, everybody's talking about, oh look, Josh Allen lost to the Falcons. Hey, at least Josh Allen's receivers want to play with him. Like fucking AJ Brown and Devonta Smith want nothing to do with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, they ran 4 tush pushes in a row because they don't trust Jalen Hurts. I'm telling y'all, man, like that team, and it's not bad because they lost to the Giants, because whatever, it's a division loss, and I'm not saying the Giants are bad. It's not about the loss. It's about them doubling down on the tush push first, because the outside noise, that proves to me the outside noise is getting to them. 2, trying to do, okay, Jalen, you have to throw the ball. What have I been saying for years? Jalen Hurts is fine, but he is not that guy to lead a prolific offense. The last 2 weeks, he has tried to lead a prolific offense with his arm, and what happened? They fucking lost. You know what I mean? They lost here to the Giants, and then they lost to the Broncos because Jalen Hurts was trying to prove that he's an elite quarterback when he simply isn't. And so the bad is because of that. AJ Brown is talking about, you don't recall a meeting, AJ Brown? You're like, were you at the meeting? Like, is there a meeting? Were you at the meeting? Devonta Smith, no commenting. Jalen Hurts talking to, like, how long is the Jalen Hurts like reserved? Everybody likes it when he's winning. Oh, he's cool as a cucumber. He don't react. He don't have emotion. Jalen Hurts, you're missing wide open receivers. Hey, your offense is sputtering. Show some emotion. Go talk to your guys. You don't even have the fucking iPad in your hand. Like, that if I'm a fan, if I'm a teammate, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, yo, fuck this guy. Like we're tail spinning here, man. Like how, like you're supposed to be the leader of this team. Yeah. And now it's not even, and the funny thing, Bert and Doug, it's not just AJ Brown. It'd be one thing if it was AJ Brown and Devonta Smith and you can chalk it up to diva receiver shit. It's Lane Johnson is saying basically the same thing that AJ Brown's saying. It's other people who have nothing to do with them two are also speaking and echoing a lot of the stuff that AJ Brown is saying. It's for me, for the show, for the brand, Bert, it's beautiful to watch. But if you're an Eagles fan, there's only so many times you're going to come into our comment section and scream Super Bowl winner, because it's not sustainable and it's not going to last.
It screams 10 wins. I missed the playoffs. That's what they're screaming right now. And honestly, Eagles fans could just wait till wintertime and put their tongue on a light pole and just keep smashing their brains out, because this team's on drive them crazy. Eagles fans are they kind of become the new Dallas Cowboys. They're heading in that direction. Not quite. But they're heading in that direction. You know what I mean? They're drinking all the Kool-Aid, except this Kool-Aid is filled with I don't know, Philly cheesesteak grease, and it's bad for the arteries, man. And that grease is Jalen Hurts. Yeah. Stop lying to yourself that this is that quarterback. He's not that dude. He is not that dude. He is paid and he is chilling. He goes out there, fresh haircut. You know what I mean? And like just gives a little quick interview, and he just show that you're pissed off. Show that you're angry. Look, you see this stupid logo on my head. I'm a Dolphins fan. We have Ryan Tannehill, and I'm not saying that they're the same quarterback, but there was a pocket of time where people hated Ryan Tannehill because he did not show any emotion. Throwing a pick, interception. Show that you're pissed off. You know what gets pissed off? Josh Allen. Yeah. You know what gets pissed off? Jackson Dart. They get upset. The guy who's a rookie and the other one's been in the league for about 5-6 years now, right? They get mad. They get angry. Why? Because winning matters. Yeah. It matters. It's devastating. You can feel it through the screen. I feel for Josh Allen at times, you know what I mean? Because it's like, dang, do more for this guy who is a generational talent. Go all out. Go balls to wall. Spend the money that you don't have. Go negative in the cap room. Make it happen, right? Anywho, my whole point, bringing it back to Jalen Hurts. he is still sleeping real great at night over that Super Bowl, and it's a brand new season, and none of that stuff matters anymore. So
that's funny. Bert, what's your fugly?
I mean, my fugly is waking up early to watch what we can't call football, which was the Jets and the Broncos game. My God. Like, look, I get it. Like when carrying out the schedule, I think we should have some semblance of like what is going to be competitive and what isn't. But that was just the most depressing display of football I've ever seen ever. And I'm not even a Jet fan, and I was frustrated for the Jet fans, but like it was tough to watch. But yeah, my fugly was, it just seems as though these international games haven't hit. They haven't.
Can we talk about British rap for a sec?
Yeah, go ahead.
British rap. Did you guys see the intro to the Broncos Jets game? Actually, shout out to Mike Williams in comments. That's my brother right there. He's a lifelong Broncos fan. Hearing British people rap, dude, it's just. Have you guys seen the clip of Ari Spears?
Yeah.
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 Who did the? I missed that. Who did the intro for the game?
Some guy JMR.
Yeah, I'm not tuned into British rap. There's a firefighter I work with who listens to it. Like,
there's a couple good artists, but
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I
think
can't say
that are decent. There's two.
Yeah, send me some links. I'm down for new music. I'm not tuned into. The only thing I remember is that the dude that used to wear the jacket, and he's like a funny guy, but he had like a clip, and then he made a song out of it, and he used to wear like a winter jacket, but it'd be like the summer, and he'd be like, "Yo, man's not hot," and he would just say a bunch of stuff.
I remember that.
That was funny. Yeah, that was funny. That's the only British rap I know. Yeah, when it comes to Fugly Bert, I mean, you're talking statistical hell. I had for the Jets, who had a whopping -10 offensive passing yards in that game. Grand total of 94 net yards with 57 plays, and average yards per play 1.6. Justin Fields sacked 9 times.
So terrible.
It's bad. That's bad. That's real bad. So I'm with you on the Jets. That's fugly. They're the only team that hasn't had a win. Aaron Glenn, Bert, it's hard to look at it, and I know people are going to scream and call it a failure. We have you have to give these guys 3 years before you really judge it. Like, Aaron Glenn is like, you have to, and I know it's hard now, especially as a Jets fan, all the shit you had to deal with. But look at the bright side. Okay, outside this last game, Justin Fields hasn't really been terrible. Like, if you look at him in the numbers and in his game, they have a lot of issues. Justin Fields, he's getting better. And if you're the Jets and you're looking at something to build on, you can say, now I'm not going to sit there and say Justin Fields is the quarterback of the future, but what I'm saying is that at least the guy you have, you don't have to start over at quarterback and start from scratch. You can start addressing the things that are making the team really bad. It's not Justin Fields. So, you don't have to rush and just draft a quarterback because you feel like you have to and throw him into another bad situation. Start building your team because you have a guy that you can at least compete with in the near future. So yeah, I'm down with the Jets being the fugly, specifically because they are the only winless team in the NFL, and they should stay that way. You Jets guys, we'll get to the tanking part later, but just don't win any more games. Just go winless. Like, I would bench everybody, to be honest. I trade Breece Hall. I do the whole 9. Like, it's tank time. So, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, let's get into NFL headline stuff. A little rapid fire NFL headline questions. Doug, we'll start with you. Fair or foul? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the best team in the NFC.
Fair. Yeah. I'm gonna say fair because I look at the Detroit Lions and it's like when they get punched in the nose, all of a sudden they kind of scramble, and I see them making it's very hard for them to make adjustments during the game. I look at, we just got done talking about the Eagles. You know what I mean? They have and look, I don't hate Jalen Hurts. I just think he needs to wake up from whatever slumber. Like, he's just sleeping and dreaming of last year's Super Bowl. So definitely, not them. The Packers, I want to say them, but I got, man, right now, the way they are communicating Baker Mayfield with, and forgive me if I'm saying his name right, Egbuka, the wide receiver, dude, playing like a prime 7-year wide receiver, NFL wide receiver veteran. Like, he is playing great football. The defense is clicking. A little bit too much hero ball. That's my only concern with them. But in my opinion, I do have them as the best team in the NFC, Buccaneers.
Bert?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say fair for this, as of this week.
Yeah.
Who else can we point to? And I mean, look, I think, and a lot of the narrative is like, oh, well, aside from one game, they haven't won greater than a margin of like 3 points, and it tends to always be down in the wire. And like, look, I get it, but like, a win's a win, but B, you want those fighters, man. You want those dogs out there that are willing to get it done like that too. So, but yeah, I can't call that foul as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, I praised the Seahawks earlier. You could probably throw the Rams in there. You could throw some other NFC teams in that class picture, Packers included. But when you look at it from the fact of Baker, who not only is, if not an MVP candidate, maybe an offensive player of the year candidate, he is single-handedly winning these games for Tampa Bay because he hasn't had Mike Evans, Godwin, or Emeka Udoka together. Like, really, you know what I mean? Like, he's always missing one or two of them, or and so, and a lot of that is him willing that team. So for that reason, yeah, like I would put the Bucs versus anybody in the NFC anyway. Like, I think the Bucs have shown, and then obviously beating what a lot of people are considering the best team in the NFC, the Eagles, kind of enforces that. But I like the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay, in terms of, especially when everybody gets healthy. I think Bucky Irving's been missing time. Like, they're not fully healthy, so I like them.
Banged up and still winning. It's impressive.
And still winning, yeah, off the strength of not only Todd Bowles, who should get a lot more credit than he probably doesn't, but I think he's doing a really good job down there. And then obviously Baker Mayfield, who's like a completely different person, which is pretty dope to see. Doug, is the AFC officially wide open, or are the Bills and Chiefs? I know it's hard to say that with the Chiefs, but they are 3-3, having a mid-season wobble.
I'm definitely gonna say a mid-season wobble. Seeing the Bills, seeing the Chiefs, they're just, yeah, especially the Chiefs early on. I mean, I think now they got their third win of the season. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they're starting to kind of turn the corner. Bills are taking a step back, but I think it's an opportunity to look at yourself in the mirror and make the adjustments. The Bills are definitely still salvageable. It's a long season with a lot of football left, right? So I'm definitely not ready to write them off. Dang sure ain't ready to write off Pat Mahomes. He got whatever Tom Brady's drinking. Pat Mahomes is drinking that too, man, where it's just, you think they're written off, and it's like, all right, we're about a third way through the season right now, and we're having these issues. But Chiefs could turn around and win the Super Bowl. We could still see the Bills. I'm concerned about Josh Allen's arm a little bit, not as far as arm strength, but it looks like there's some type of lingering injury. I don't know. Am I crazy? You guys kind of seeing that? He looks a little bruised, but
yeah.
I will also say he's probably the toughest quarterback in the NFL as well, too, right? So you could see him make a playoff run as well, too. Super Bowl, perhaps. I don't know. There needs to be an upset or two, but totally possible. You know what I mean? Again, who gets hot at the right time? That's all that really matters. But, right now, I just think they're having some growing pains right now.
Bert?
So we are not even halfway through the season, but as we've seen it many times before, it's the unexpected losses that should be wins is what's going to come back to bite you. And right now I am looking at a 5-1 Colts team. I'm looking that the Jags are 4-2, Steelers coming off of a bye week too, right? 4-1. Or no, they played. Did they play?
They played yesterday. Yeah, they played.
Oh, they did. Okay, never mind.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but also, I mean, the Bills. For me to continue to call it, I think I'll call it wide open only because I don't know. I mean, like I said before, our usual suspects between, I'll just focus on Kansas City and the Bills right now because the Ravens I think are done for. But there are so many new faces that could be creeping towards the top now, and I'd be remiss if I didn't even throw the Pats in there too. I mean, they have been unexpectedly together and good again by comparison. But I'll continue to say it's wide open as of right now. Let's revisit this in 2 weeks. We'll see. But in any event, man, I think there's a lot of other teams that could come up and take this top spot.
I'm at first when I thought about it, I said you can't count the Chiefs out based on their history, but then that's hypocritical because I'm the guy that says what happens last year doesn't matter, which is evidenced by the Chiefs, considering how they started, and evidenced by the team you just mentioned, the Colts. When I look at the Colts, what's their weakness? You can't say it's Daniel Jones. He's top 3 in every fucking quarterback category. And people are going to look, and this is, Bert, me and you talked about this when Daniel Jones ended up in Indianapolis. He has always, even with the Giants, had the tools, which is why they gave him the contract. He got him to the playoffs. He's just not Josh Allen, right? He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not the guy that you just add water to and he makes you a contender. He's the guy, he's Jalen Hurts. He's the guy that needs X, Y, and Z. Brock Purdy, these guys need this. And if you can give him that, you can compete. And we said it. I'm not saying that the Colts have like a top 3 roster, but as long as you're in the top half, in terms of, hey, do we have top half skill players? Do we have a top half defense? Do we have a top half offensive line in terms of where they rank? We can compete with a competent quarterback. Colts check all those boxes. And honestly, they not only do look like the best team in the AFC, they look like the best team in the NFL. Like they just look like the overall most complete team in the NFL. Bucks closely behind that. There's other teams that are around. Doug, I agree with you. These are bad losses, right? Obviously losing to the Patriots, which is a division loss, is one thing. And then the loss to the Falcons, who, as Bert said earlier, is like hot and cold. We don't know if they're good or not. We don't know. like they might be, right? We thought about that with the Ravens, right? Oh my God, they came back and beat the Ravens. The Ravens don't look very good right now. Like they're 1-5. I get that Lamar hasn't been there the last 2 games, but even when he was there, they didn't look good. So it's hard to gauge it. But if I had to think right now, yeah, it's wide open because the Chargers, they started hot and then all of a sudden they had a letdown game. And then now they're back, right? Like it's all of a sudden there's just AFC teams, and then again the Jaguars, and we'll see about Houston, who put up 40 points before their bye week. Let's see if they're for real. Like let's see if they get it all figured out because they're going to get a bunch of players back from injury. So I would say, and then I'm not going to count out Baltimore. I get that they're 1-5, and we're going to get to them in a second. But if Lamar Jackson comes back after this bye week, they have a favorable schedule that they could make a run. And we'll see what it's going to happen. Mike Williams says Chargers are going to charge it. Yeah, the Chargers, they are the West Coast Dallas Cowboys. No matter how good they are in the regular season, when it comes to winning time, playoff time, we already know what's going to happen
Mike.
with them. They just can't help themselves. Doug, it's firing season. Brian Callahan, first head coach to be fired this season in Tennessee. So, which head coach is on the hottest seat? And when I say that, like if you just had to guess, which coach is not going to make it to Thanksgiving? Who's it going to be?
Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel's out of there, man. As they say in baseball, you're out of there. He's out of there. He is gone. It's look, look, man, it was fun while it lasted. 2023 was a great year. Last year, there was a lot of injuries that happened that blew the year. That was it. Lost a lot of people on the team, but Mike McDaniel, it's crazy. I think I don't know, man. All right. His I don't like to make fun of people who had history with like alcohol and stuff like that. And as somebody who grew up with 2 alcoholic parents, look, I get it. There's people that have their struggles and demons. I'm not accusing him, but he comes across as very drunk and belligerent in his post-game press conferences. It's a lot of they asked him a question. So yeah, I think I'll talk to man, it's tough out there, man. What? Like, what are you talking about, man? It makes no sense. And sometimes, man, you really got to take these losses on the chin. He looks stressed out. He looks above his head. I don't think he's a bad coach. And I blame Tua for more things. I blame Chris Greer for more things, but I would like to see him go to another team. You know, who needs an offensive coordinator? Philadelphia Eagles. Mike McDaniel, boom, go out there and crush it, right? I think he does have some really good ideas, but he designed this offense around Tua's noodle arm and him getting the ball out so he does not get another TBI, traumatic brain injury. And he has truly died on a hill for Tua. Truly has died on a hill for this guy, which is to be commendable. I think he has so many great traits, but man, right now at this point in his career, maybe he could be a really great NFL coach later, but right now, no. And I think he's the next head coach to be fired.
Bert?
I can't disagree with that. I think that's 100% accurate, and I can't think of anybody else who's getting it fired before him. And look, his nonchalant, his casual, his even his presser attitude. I mean, yeah, this is all great if you're winning, but it's wearing thin, especially when you're spending buku bucks on a quarterback and you're stuck starting him. Like, you'd mentioned before, it's one of those things where something's going to need to change, and he's the most dispensable one. So see ya.
Yeah, he's an easy answer. I would have said Dave Canales in Carolina up until this last win against, just the Bryce thing looked like a bust. They had nothing going on offense, and then all of a sudden, these last 2 weeks, he's really turned it on. I'm not going to count out the Jets because the Jets are overreactionary, and I can see that, especially if they rack up a couple more. If they end up 0-8, you know what I mean, 0-9 before Thanksgiving, I could see them just overreacting and firing Aaron Glenn. But yeah, it's got to be Mike McDaniel, because it's already been a few years. And again, you have the issue with this is you have the Tyreek injury. Every year he seems to get bailed out by like Tua's concussions or a decimated player or some craziness that has bailed him out. But this time feels different when your franchise quarterback, because right now Tua's the franchise quarterback, is basically saying leadership's the problem, and Mike McDaniel has fostered this type of environment. I can't imagine he's going to last much longer, especially if the Dolphins don't win the next couple games. So I think I agree with you guys by it's pretty wide margin that it's probably Mike McDaniel. Last one here. Doug, should the Ravens officially enter tank mode, or should Lamar Jackson try to come in and save this season?
Oh, I love that question. Oh, I love this question. This is great. Unconventional. I usually don't say this. Tank. If you're playing games, play World of Tanks. Tank. Okay. Who's your favorite R&B singer? Tank.
Yeah.
Tank. Look, man, the reason why I would say tank for a few reasons. Get rid of that offensive coordinator. It isn't working. You gotta go, buddy. Peace. He gotta go. I'm not saying he should be fired, but John Harbaugh, he should be on the hot seat as well, too, because like you keep getting in there, and then you change the whole game plan in the playoffs. There's too many close games that should not be close games, man. Also, as well, how great would it be if they had a true wide receiver number one? Like a true wide receiver, not like Bateman. Bateman will be a wide receiver like 4 on other teams. I got to be honest, though I do love their tight end room. And I forgive Mark Andrews for that drop pass last year, and likely is a dog. That's one of my favorite tight end rooms. So I just want to get that out the way. But I am not crazy at all about their wide receiver room at all. And what's special about Lamar Jackson is that, hey, let's say he tore his ACL. Pray God that don't happen, but let's say that took him to happen. He still has a very good arm. He still is very accurate, and I love his vision as a quarterback. You'll see someone about to tackle him. He'll look to the left, take a step back, boom, and still stay in the pocket. That takes cojones, man. I love that. And I want to see Lamar play in the NFL for another decade if possible, right? But you got to give him wide receivers. A lot of the wide receiver issues are the same issues that the Bills have. You know what I mean? You got to give these two gifted. You got Josh Allen. I know we're not talking about him, but Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Give them receivers. Spoil them. Make it rain receivers. Make it happen. And then watch what will happen. Championship, right? So, yeah, I definitely tank the year. I would not come back, Lamar. Twist your ankle again, whatever it is, and don't come back till next year. That's my take.
Bert?
Nah, I don't. And honestly, I don't think they could if they tried, especially with a healthy Lamar, right? I mean, you said it before. Their schedule is quite favorable. You got the Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets through the Thanksgiving weekend when they see the Bengals. And then they got Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Pats. So like I honestly think it is still salvageable for at least a wild card at this point.
So I am a big believer in the NFL. You are better off being 0-17. You either got to be 17-0 or 0-17. Being 500 doesn't help you. The Bengals have a rare opportunity because let's be honest, even if they do make a run at the wild card, they're not good enough to really make any real noise because of their struggles that they had when Lamar was healthy. So let's take this rare and I'm of the belief the Bengals should do the same. I know they're talking about Joe Burrow being able to come back at some point. No, I am a firm believer in tanking. And no, I don't think players are actively tanking, which is why they need to put Lamar on long-term IR. Put Joe Burrow like on long-term IR, PUP, whatever. And you start playing these fringe guys, start calling guys up from the practice squad, see who you have. And that way you can make these decisions because you have an opportunity to add a high-end draft pick to what I believe is a top-tier team when everybody's healthy. Something's wrong right now. They need to reassess. And it doesn't serve you to rush Lamar Jackson back in hopes of getting to the playoffs when you can just have him rest and get 100% healthy next year with an upgraded team and guarantee that you'll make the playoffs next year. So I'm a firm believer in tanking. And again, we just talked about how the AFC is wide open. That's just more competition for the Ravens. And even if Lamar comes back, the risk of re-aggravating his injury, things like that, to fight for a playoff spot isn't worth it. You have to start thinking about, it's not about this year. You got to start thinking about the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years. And you have an opportunity because while you have Lamar Jackson, the chances of you having a high draft pick are low. So why not take advantage of the one rare opportunity? Same thing with the Bengals, the rare opportunity that you can get if you're bad. So don't be like the Giants and start winning games at the end of the year and fuck up your draft pick. Try to make it happen and try to get a draft pick now. All right, that was fun. Let's get into baseball. We have the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, Mariners, and Brewers. The final 4 teams, Bert, in baseball. So, who do you think is going to advance to the World Series and who's going to win it?
I mean, right now, Seattle has a 2-0 lead against Toronto. First game, they squeaked it out. Second game, they absolutely trounced them. So I would not say that Toronto is just going to lay down because they still have so many good bats. But the way Seattle's playing, I would honestly guess they're moving forward. And I do like the Brewers. I know that they're about to be. Last time I checked, they were losing this game tonight too. They might be down 0-2 as well, but the fight they're putting up against that Dodger team is insane. So I like the Mariners and I like the Brewers.
Doug?
Love it. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to take and say, I'm going to make a couple predictions. So I do got the Mariners winning that series. Okay. Follow me here for a second. Then, of course, I got the Dodgers winning that other series. So I'm going to take and say it's going to be the battle for the West Coast, LA versus Seattle. And dang it, Shohei Ohtani, that guy is from another planet, man. I'm such a huge fan of him. But for those who don't know, I lived in Japan for 6 years, man. So I know how important baseball is over there. So I know what it does I've seen what it takes for a lot of guys to come out of that country and ball out, and for him to just do the work that he has done in his career, other things he has accomplished so far in his career. Yeah, he's having his Tom Brady moment. He gonna win it all. I got Dodgers winning everything.
Yeah, man. I think my pick for the World Series is probably the Dodgers. I know people are going to groan and it's boring, but I mean, money talks in baseball. And the Dodgers, they have the best player in baseball. They have one of the best players of all time, and I think that accounts for something. And I also think it's going to be the Mariners. I'm a big fan of what they've done. But I mean, all the advanced metrics, they have the pitching depth, yes, even in the bullpen, and they have that Swiss Army knife at Shohei. When the chips are counting, they can make it happen. And I think when you have the best player, especially in baseball, as one of those rare sports where like you could theoretically buy a championship, I think the Dodgers just have the biggest checkbook right now, and that's gonna make all the difference. We don't have one of those like Red Sox teams, Tampa Bay Rays teams that are like just built on grit and a dream and hopes. Like it just, there ain't none of that going on. So I think the Dodgers are a little bit too overwhelming. That being said, I'm going to predict a 6-game anticlimactic series. Maybe I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but I do have the Dodgers winning the World Series. This was fun. This was awesome. Everybody, please go follow my guy as soon as I get this stupid thing back up. There you go. Doug Smith at the touchdown with Doug Smith. This is not going to be the only time you'll see him on our show, and I'm sure we'll be on his.
Heck yeah.
This is awesome. Bert, do you have a game ball you want to give out?
I mean, we were just talking about baseball and that double play I saw last night, thanks to Sal Frelick and his ability to juggle, not only track the ball, have it pop out of his glove, hit the wall, find it again, and then the rocket of an arm to get it back into, even with the relay. So I was absolutely impressed. So he gets my game ball.
Nice. Doug, you have a game ball you want to give out?
Man, I can't stand the Cowboys, man. Shout out to Rico Dowdle, man. Shout out to Rico, man. Uncle freaking Rico. Look, man, I lived in Texas for 3.5 years. It's kind of a great place, but you know what, man? It's great to see the Cowboys go down. Another Sunday where the Cowboys lose is a great Sunday. God bless America. God bless Rico Dowdle. He gets my game ball.
That was going to be mine, so I'll pivot and give it to another Carolina Panther, Bryce Young. Pressure was on. You were flirting dangerously close to bust territory, and it's not really about your play; it's about what Carolina had to give up to draft you. Like it was, they gave up a lot to draft Bryce Young, and it was not looking good. I'm not saying he's completely turned it around, but he deserves a game ball this week for being really efficient and being really good. Not just this week, the last couple of weeks, and maybe Carolina's actually got it all down. We'll get ready for next week. Doug, appreciate you sticking around. Unlike James Franklin, we have a job to do, and we'll get to that next week. See you later.